More like red 1 star.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back everybody. I am here to talk about Red 1. This is the new action blockbuster fantasy movie from Jake Kasdan, the director of the 2 Jumanji reboot movies, as well as other comedies. The film stars J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. He is protected by his right-hand man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's like his head of security, and when Santa gets kidnapped, then they have to employ Chris Evans, who's like the wolf, the master bounty hunter dude, and we're gonna find Santa, we're gonna save Christmas. I could tell this one that I wasn't really gonna enjoy, which is weird because I'm a really big fan of the Jumanji reboot movies. I really truly believe that that's like a perfect way to reboot a franchise, you know? You take the name of the franchise, the basic concept, let's switch it up. It's not even the same genre. It's not a fantasy family adventures. It's much more of an action comedy now. We have the body switching element. It's now PG-13 instead of PG. There's a lot of things different from the sequels to Jumanji than the original. Also, we bypassed all the Memberberry stuff. Nobody cares about the Memberberry stuff. Red 1 is not a franchise film. I'm sure it will try to continue on into being a franchise, but there is an amount of name brand recognition. It's a movie about Santa Claus, and there's a lot of different movies about Santa Claus and how they depict the North Pole and whatnot, and this is definitely an entry. I think it's kind of gross that there's an Amazon Prime movie where Santa's like a corporate thing and his whole operation is just like a black ops, like CIA type situation. I don't know, it just felt very cynical and like really took away like the magic of what like Santa's like all about. Also, the entire joke of Santa is that he's ripped. They literally say it at the end of the movie, which is really annoying because it's like, yeah, that's obviously the entire joke of the character is, oh, but Santa's supposed to be fat and jolly and he eats all the cookies so he's fat, and like, but this guy, no, he's ripped. He lifts weights, man. That's so cool. J.K. Simmons is fine in this movie. I don't love his interpretation of Santa Claus, but he does okay. Where I really have a problem is with Chris Evans and with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I just believe that these two have zero chemistry whatsoever, and I really don't like the direction that Chris Evans has taken his career post Captain America. I really enjoyed Lightyear, but that's just a voice. Like, a lot of his acting things. This is yet another streaming service movie. We had Ghosted, we had The Gray Man, we have Pain Hustlers, just a bunch of stuff that nobody cares about. He's really leaning into this like jokey kind of guy thing, and he's just painfully unfunny, especially here. He has a bunch of one-liners and they're all very cringe, the type of stuff that people would make fun of Marvel for, like, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? A lot of that kind of humor. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is just playing typical serious action man Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's very boring. Both of these guys, I think, are good actors. That's the thing that I think is really sad about this, is we've seen Chris Evans be really good in the past. We know that The Rock is going to be in a Safdie's brother movie soon, which everyone says that's kind of the cliche, is like, oh, give this actor who's not really at their high point, give them a very unserious actor, give them this like gritty Safdie brothers character piece. And that's what we're getting with The Rock, and I'm sure Chris Evans is going to do more good things in the future as well. It's just this corny blockbuster leading man jokey type of thing is not working for me at all. I thought the CGI in this movie was kind of gross. Like, there's a lot of creatures like the elves and the trolls are just like openly disgusting, and I guess that's kind of the point. The only thing I will say I think did look good was the polar bear. His name is Garcia. He's the only character that I really actually remember anything about. He's not in the movie nearly enough at all, and he's awesome. He's just a giant anthropomorphic polar bear. He talks. His name's Garcia, and I love him, and he looked cool. So I really didn't like much of anything about this movie. Like I said, the comedy is super cringy. The action really isn't very cool. The world building, I think, is very cynical. So the cast is not very good. None of this really works for me at all. It's kind of crazy that they paid The Rock $50 million to be in this movie, which is absolutely insane. I think it's tracking for like $32 million opening weekend with like a low of 25 and high of 42, which is maybe if you would have put this on the streaming service, you would have just like swept it under the rug, which may have been the best thing for this movie, because I really don't think it's very good. I think at 45 reviews, it's sitting at 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is disgusting. That being said, the audience that I watched it with was having a wonderful time with the movie. They were really laughing hard every single time a character fell down in a silly way or got hit in a goofy way, like when they're playing the slaps game. I hated that. Game sucks. That kind of humor sucks. Also, it's that kind of like, ooh, I said a curse word, like, ooh, know, I almost said fuck. And this movie's gonna get torched too. I mean, it's gonna face Gladiator 2 and Wicked next week. The following week, another Dwayne The Rock Johnson picture, Moana. And then a month later, by the way, is Sonic and Mufasa. So the Christmas legs might not even be there for this type of a movie, which is really sad because we want to encourage these streaming movies, especially the big blockbustery ones where you could tell they're putting a lot of money into it. Like Wolves didn't even get a theatrical release at the end of the day. Like we really thought that was going to get one. But after this, Argyle, all of these streaming blockbusters are so pathetic and sad. I mean, there's good ones out there, but this is definitely not going to be part of anybody's regular annual Christmas rotation of movies. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 1 out of 5. It's in the title, Red 1 star movie. This sucked. I really hated every second of it. I wanted to leave. I was really bored and annoyed and upset. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and why don't you guys tell me, what is your Christmas rotation? What's coming up every single year? I know I'm watching probably Jim Carrey's Grinch is one that I actually do every single year.